Okay, guys, so you should have had a chance to try this one on your own. I picked the 0.515, but it wasn't going to matter. We already determined that this was a proportional relationship, so any point you choose on here should have the same relationship. So I plugged in 15 for y and 5 for x. I didn't change it into this form because it's really not necessary. I just wanted to show you that you could, and so you could kind of see what it looks like in terms of how it looks similar to what we previously did. But basically, you're always just going to divide by the number that's next to the k in these circumstances in order to find what k is, right? Because I got to cancel out this 5, and the only way to do that, the opposite of multiplying by 5, is dividing by 5. So I divided by 5 on both sides, and I got that k was equal to 3 again, which is a coincidence. I didn't mean to do that. But again, we have a k of 3, and that should work for any of these points. So if you chose a different point, it still should work because, right, 3 times 3 is 9, 1 times 3 is 3, negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. Okay. So now let's use what we just learned to compare two different scenarios. Let's take a look at this word problem. Okay. T-Mobile and Verizon are competing right now to have the best 5G option for smartphones. You've probably seen commercials all over the place, right? So T-Mobile will give you 5G for around $43 per month. That's important information, obviously. This is T-Mobile, right? Verizon's 5G plan is represented by the following graph. So we don't know what their per month is, but they're giving us this graph that says total of month, or the number of months down here, and then the total money spent, and it's giving us these points. Okay, so we have to figure out which smartphone provider provides the best rate per month of 5G coverage. Okay, best rate would be paying less, right? So we're looking for the actually, we're looking for the smaller rate, right? We're looking for which company is going to, are we going to spend less money at? Okay, and the way that we can do this is we can compare the rates. We just have to find the rates and compare them. Luckily, the first rate is given to us right here. Anytime you see that something per something, that's telling us what the rate is. If we wanted to rewrite this as the equation y equals kx, we would write this and we would take 43 and make it our k, because that's our constant of proportionality. That's our unit rate, right? Every month it's going up $43. So y equals 43x will give us any month, will give us the total number. So say I wanted to figure out how much money I was going to pay in 3 months. I would put the 3 in for x, multiply these, it would tell me what y is. Because remember, this is a proportional relationship. Okay, if you have 0 months on T-Mobile, you will pay $0. So 0 is part of this graph, which tells us that we're starting as a proportional relationship, and we have this function here of multiplication, something happening to each month. Each month I'm going up by $43. That's a multiplication relationship that tells us it's proportional. All right, so let's take a look at Verizon now. Verizon has this trend going up here, and actually this graph is missing this. I made the graph, so this is a mistake on my part. Obviously, again, if you're at 0 months, then you're paying $0, right? So if you either aren't part of this subscription or haven't started your months yet, you haven't paid any monthly bill. Now you might have paid a startup cost or something like that, but we're just talking about the monthly bills in terms of the 5G. Okay, so notice this is a proportional relationship. Why do we know that? One thing we know is that it goes through the origin. The other thing that we know is it's a straight line, okay? And it continues, it keeps going. So obviously you could go for 5 months, you could go for 6 months. It's not part of this graph, but those points would obviously be on there. So those two things tell us it's a proportional relationship, which lets us know that it is of the equation y equals kx. Because remember, the equation y equals kx is for any proportional relationship. Now we just have to find the k. Well, in order to find the k, I'm just going to take one of these points and I'm going to plug in those values. Remember, just like we did on the previous one, we took a point, we plugged in the values, and we solved for k. We're going to do the same thing here with this Verizon graph. So I'm going to take the point, let's just take this top point here because it's the closest. So I'm going to take this point, I'm going to take those values, and I'm going to substitute them in. So my y was 220, okay, equals K, and then my X is 4, okay? So in order to solve, remember, we're going to do our division. We're going to be dividing by the number that's next to the variable that we're trying to solve for, because I'm trying to isolate it, right? I'm trying to get it alone. Right now it has this 4 there. In order to get rid of it, I got to do the opposite. So the opposite of multiplying by 4 is dividing by 4. I have to do it to both sides to make sure that my equation stays balanced, okay? And I should get just a K equals something at this point. Now, I don't know what 220 divided by 4 is in my head, so I'm going to pull up my Desmos calculator. I'm going to put in 220 divided by 4, and I get 55. So let's come back here, 55. Now, what does that mean? What does this mean in the context of the problem, right? The rate over here was dollars per month. This rate over here makes sense that it would be dollars per month because this is money spent total over the number of months, right? This is the Y value. This Y value here is total money spent. So we're taking total money spent. This fraction bar means per, and then this 4 tells us the number of months. So money per month, money per month. This means that this is, you are paying $55 per month with Verizon. Now, last step is to determine this. Which smartphone provider gives you a better rate? Well, a better rate in this case would be a smaller dollar amount per month, right? You don't want to pay more than you have to. So it looks like in this case, T-Mobile is giving you a better dollar ratio per month. So you're going to say T-Mobile is giving us a better rate per month for 5G. Okay. All right. Now, obviously, there's many factors to that. Maybe T-Mobile doesn't give you the best coverage. Maybe Verizon gives you better phones. Maybe they give you phones for cheaper. Who knows? So this is not the end all be all. And don't go to your parents and say, we got to get T-Mobile because it has a better rate. All right. There's a lot of factors that go into it. This is very simplified just for the math that we're doing right now. But this does give you a nice idea of how this math does connect with things in the real world. Okay, these are real numbers that I pulled off of their websites. Okay, so yeah, I hope that connects it a little bit with you. You guys will have some time on your homework to try different things like this and really practice this. So good luck on the homework, and I'll see you in the next lesson.